have you been catching yourself like just like being negative and just complaining a whole lot? Hey, it's Christine, your emotion coach, and I figured while I'm watching my kiddo play a little soccer at a soccer practice, I jump in and talk about today's Daily Fire from Brendan Bouchard, which was all about what to do instead of complaining, right? And it's like, first of all, you have to ask yourself, is it an issue that I'm complaining? Have I been complaining a lot? How do I feel when other people complain? But more importantly, how do I feel when I complain, right? Because sometimes it feels good just to like vent, to let it out, right? A lot of times we also connect with other people when we vent about certain things. We can find that connection, although it is kind of a cheap connection, kind of a little, yeah, like just a momentary thing and then it's over with. I feel like there are better ways to connect. But just ask yourself, just think about these things and then just really ask yourself, how do I feel when I complain? Do I feel good? Do I feel energetic? Do I feel pumped up? Do I feel excited? Do I feel loved? Do I feel nurtured? How do I feel when I complain? Right? Like for me, I guess many, many years ago when I got into Abraham Hicks and law of attraction, right? It was all a matter of like the vibration that you're in, what you're streaming out is what it's coming back. So at that point, I think I stopped a lot of my complaining because it's like, Abraham Hicks will always say, well, you're perpetuating that vibration. You're putting more of that out there. You're, you're just going to create more of the things that you don't want by perpetually talking about it, right? And there might be a person or two in my life who kind of are on that train of complaining, right? And it's hard for me as a problem solver. I'm definitely a problem solver to listen to that over and over again because my brain immediately jumps to what can we do about it, right? But it is wonderful. I'm learning this with my kiddo too, of like first join them in that vibration. Well, not necessarily in the vibration, but understand where they're coming from, like especially with your kiddo. Oh, I get it. That's really kind of tough. Just to let them know, oh, I heard you. I understand you. I know where you are. I love how Dr. Becky always says, I feel this way, and that makes sense. It makes sense, right? So give yourself that moment of like, I feel this way, and that makes sense. But then I like to quickly shift because, as Abraham Hicks says, you have about 17 seconds before that thought, that whatever you just spoke, is gaining momentum and is getting stronger. And then it's going to be a whole lot harder to get out of that again. So, can we take a deep breath? Can we acknowledge the emotion? Can we say, okay, that makes sense that I would feel that way? And then can we journal about it? Can we turn it around? Brendan Burchard gave us 4 different things of what to do instead of complaining. Now let's see if I can pull these back together because I don't have any notes in front of me. I'm just speaking impromptu. But if not, definitely go and download the app. Try your 7 days free on the Growth app, and you can listen to what he had put down for 4 days. And I believe we have an ice cream truck. Yay! Okay. The first thing he said was, nope, I don't remember. Well, definitely. One of them was, instead of complaining, can I delegate it, right? Can I ask someone else to do this, to help me with this? Yes? Okay. Let's walk a little bit because now we're right next to this guy. Okay. They're going to keep moving. Oh my goodness. This is what happens when you're outside, but it is a gorgeous day. And you delegate it, right? First of all, why is it that you don't want to do this thing, right? What is so hard about it? So oftentimes, when I catch myself like really being in the mood and complaining about like, oh, I really don't want to have to do this. Why do I have to do this? It's something that I'm a little scared of, something I'm not quite sure how to do, how to handle. So it's like a oof, or I feel like, oh, it's going to take a lot of time. And so then it's a matter. Here we go. If you can take 5 minutes and just like do the research on it, like what would it take? Can I Google this? Can I ask ChatGPT about this? What would it actually take to get this done, right? Or if it's Um, yeah. Were you talking about delegating? Is it something that I can like take turns with my spouse or take turns with my significant other, take turns with somebody to be like, okay, this was Brendan's first one. Can I make it more fun? How can I have fun with this, right? How can I have fun with this? I don't want to do these freaking dishes. How can I have fun with this? Can I put on a fun song? Can I listen to something like a podcast? Can I put a movie on in the background? Can I, what can I do in order to make this thing I don't want to do a little bit more fun? And asking yourself, that was one of the other ones that Brendan mentioned. Do I have to do it? Why do I have to do it? What will this thing give me? Why do I have to do it? And that is always a good question and something that I have come back around that really helps me the most. Instead of saying I have to do this, saying I get to do this. I get to do this, right? Even when I'm exhausted at night and I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to have to do the shower thing, the getting my kid to bed thing, the doing the dishes thing. And I'm just like, oh, and then I remember the gratitude of like, I get to do this. I have an apartment. I have dishes. I have food. And therefore, I need to do dishes because I just ate off of these plates, right? Just the gratitude of like, there are people who don't need to do dishes because they don't have dishes and they probably didn't eat enough before they went to bed, right? I get to do bath time in bed with my kiddo because I have a kiddo. I have a healthy kiddo. I have a kiddo who had fun all day. I have a kiddo who has enough energy and oomph left in him in order to like fight me on this, right? So it's just like, just finding the gratitude and like, this is my life. I am so grateful for having these things in my life. Are there going to be things that I don't want to do? Sure, there are plenty of those things every day that I don't want to do. But just, gosh, just feeling the gratitude for being able to, gosh, I tell you another one for me. Freedom is one of my big, big things, right? Freedom. I love to be free. I love to feel free. I love to feel like I can move freely on the earth. And it's so interesting that so little things have to happen in order for me to feel like my freedom is impinged. And then today I got to meet somebody whose freedom is a lot more limited than mine. And she was kind of born into that. And I was just like, wow, she didn't even have a choice. But right from the get go, she has a lot more limitations than I do. And just feeling so incredibly grateful. I think one of the things we can get into with social media or wherever your kid is going to school, or it's like having that little bit of comparison of like, well, everybody has this big house, everybody has these fancy cars, everybody goes on these amazing trips, of kind of feeling like, what am I doing? What am I providing my kids? But then when you meet somebody who's like, yeah, I live in a trailer out in the woods, whatever it might be, it's just like, whoa, this is so different. It just gives you a different perspective of like, I am so grateful for where I am. I am grateful for the space that I have. I am grateful for the money that I have in my bank account. I am grateful for this car that has been, driving me from one place to another wherever I need to go. Yes, sure. The oil light came on again the other day after I had just topped off the oil. Yes, it is a nuisance. Yes, I don't want to have to deal with it. Yes, I'm going to have to stop at AutoZone and get more oil. But you know what? I am grateful that I have this. I'm grateful that I make enough money in order to pay off this car. I'm grateful that I make enough money to potentially put it in the shop if I need to, right? Where is the gratitude instead of the I have to and I'm grumpy about it, I'm mad about it, that I have to deal with this crap again? Trust me, I have my little freakouts about it, like, I can't believe this is happening again. It does sometimes help me to just like let it out, to scream it out, and after that, just go like, okay, I'm grateful, and what needs to happen from here? What is my next action step? How can I move beyond that quickly, right? That was Brendan's second one. Brendan's first one was fun. How can I bring more fun into it? Brendan's second one was, how can I, and now I just lost it. I'm telling you my mind. Um, what were we talking about? Being grateful, coming back around, having fun with it. Yeah. Or like making a plan, right? Oh, how can I do it more quickly? That was the second one. How can I speed up the process, right? How can I do this more efficiently? If I really, instead of like dragging along and keep on thinking about this and procrastinating on it, how can I really take some time right now to focus on it, to see what I need for it, to prep for it, and then get it done, right? So incredible. Brennan's third one was the do I really need to do it, right? That's a great point to journal on. And then his fourth one was can I delegate it? Do I really need to do it, or can I get someone else to help me or to do this for me? Can I pay somebody to do this for me, right? So let me know in the comments below if you catch yourself complaining about the same things over and over and over again. And if this, what we talked about today, is kind of giving you an idea of like, oh yeah, I could shift this. I could. It's not helping me, it's negatively impacting me. Every time I complain about this, it draws energy from me rather than giving me energy. How could I change this to where I do feel like it's charging me up, to where I feel like, oh, this comes up, I feel the feeling, and then I just decide to just get it done, to either get it done with something that makes more fun, right? That's much more fun to do it. Or how can I speed this up, be more efficient about it, get it done? How can I delegate it? Or how can I decide that, hey, I don't need to do this thing anymore, right? And just to be aware, like always, to be aware that you have that choice. Like, for example, I'll tell you one of them that I am kind of, every time taxes come around, I'm just like, oh, why do I not keep better records? I mean, I keep records in my schedule book, I write everything down in my schedule book, but would it be so much easier at the end of the year if I would have it entered into a spreadsheet? Absolutely. Have I tried to like tell myself at the end of the week, let me just put everything in a spreadsheet every time at the end of the week? I could do it. It would only take a few minutes and then taxes roll around and it's done. And instead, when taxes roll around, I need about a day or two to just like write everything into a spreadsheet to have it all nice and neat, right? And then I've just decided I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to enter it into a spreadsheet every week or every month. So I have just decided, okay, I just know that when taxes come around, I am going to take that day or two. I'm just going to take that day or two that it takes me to then sit down, go through my entire schedule book to like piece together all the things, to go through my bank account, to go through the credit card statements to see where I spent what money for the business, to just like go through all this. I have a process. I have that written down of like all the things I need to check and go through in order to really have accurate things. But would it be easier if I kept track of it at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of every month? Yes, it would be. But I've decided it's worth it for me to spend those couple of days when I need to. So just showing yourself that you have that option, you have that option, and you're deliberately making that choice helps you. It helps me. Let me know if there is something that you have a hard time like fitting into one of those four categories of saying, okay, I can really handle this. Is there something that you're complaining about, or you're like, oh, I don't know how I can stop complaining about that, right? One thing that comes to mind is like some kind of constant ache or pain, something in your body that's just like, oh, it's just, oh. But then again, right? Abraham Hicks always says you can be in pain and be hopeful that it's going to get better, or you can be in pain and you can be negative about it, right? And the way that you are going to feel about this is going to change everything. I do believe in law of attraction, and I do believe that your body has incredible powers to heal, even and especially if the medical system says it's not possible. So I feel a positive attitude always helps. And if nothing else, it makes you feel better. So you can be in pain potentially, but still have excitement, still have hope, still be tuned in, still laugh, still be playful, still enjoy your life, still be alive, right? Still have deep, meaningful connections, still feel incredibly nurtured and loved. Beautiful. Thank you so much for being here, for spending this time with me. I'm going to watch my kiddo finish his soccer practice. They're about to squirt each other with water guns, which is always so fun. I'm so glad the coach is deciding to do this for the last couple of practices. It's so fun. Definitely gets the kiddos excited and involved. Have a great rest of your day. Think about those journaling prompts, and I will see you tomorrow.